Okay, good everyone. Today in our dimensional analysis we are going to have some problems to question to solve, and today we have question number 1 which we are going to solve. Now in question number 1 they said the values of x, y and z respectively in the expression m raised to power x, l raised to power y and t raised to power z for the universal gravitational constant G are dashed. This is what a question we have in JAMB. Then to solve this problem, what are we going to do? They are asking us in the question to solve the gravitational constant. And in gravitational constant, we have solution. So in the solution, remember that F is equal to G m1 m2 over what? R squared. Now, the force of what? Attraction or repulsion is directly proportional to what? The masses, the product of the masses, and the inversely proportional to what? The square of what? Their distance. Now, from this equation we have, from equation of what? Number 1, we can make G the subject of the formula, where G is called what? The universal gravitational constant. To make it the subject of the formula, what are we going to do? This 1 over 1, when you cross multiply, we are going to have G m1 m2 is equal to, this time this will give me what? F r squared. So you can see, if I divide here by m1 m2 and I divide here by what? m1 m2, this can cancel this. We are left with what? That G is equal to what? F r squared over what? m1 m2. So this becomes what? Equation what? 2. Now from this equation we are going to have our problems solved. Now to find the dimension of what? The gravitational constant in this what? Equation of what? Number 2, where G is what? The gravitational constant or universal gravitational constant. We have to know the dimension of what? Force. And again we have to know the dimension of what? Their square of the distance and the product of the masses of the two objects. So in that case, what can we say? I can say for force, which is equal to what? Mass times what? Acceleration. We are going to have it as what? Kg meter per second square as the force. So the dimension or the unit, the derived unit of what? Force is equal to kg meter per second square. Now for r square, where r is what? The distance of what? The separation, distance between the two objects. Now in that case, what can we say? This is what? Meter square, because we are talking about distance. Then for m1 and what? m2, this is the masses of the two objects. So we have kg times what? Kg, which will give me what? Kg what? Square. Now, having known all these what? Facts, what can we say? Our G is equal to, what is our F? Our F, which is the force, is what? Kg meter per second square times, what is our r square? Our r square, which is what? The distance, we have what? Meter square all over. What is this one? Our m1 and m2, the product of them, the multiplication of them can give us what? Kg square. Now in this case, let us do a little mathematics here. Say we have what? Kg meter over what? Second square times, what do we have here? Meter square. Remember this part means what? Over. All divided by what? Kg squared. We have down here. So in this case, what can we say? this is what? Kg. This times this will give us what? M3 all over what? LC square. Divided by, because this and this are divided by what? This. Divided by what? Kg square. So this implies that we have what? Kg meter 3 cube over what? LC square. We have multiplied by, when this 1 over 1 and you change this to multiplication. Once this thing changes to multiplication, we are going to have 1 over what? Kg what? Square. So you can see this kg can cancel this kg. We are going to have only 1 kg. So I can now say that G is equal to, this multiplied by this, M3 multiplied by 1 will give you what? M3 all over this multiplied by this will give me what? LC square and what? Kg. So I can now say another way of writing this thing is what? M3 we have per what? What are we going to have? We are going to have LC square per, we are going to have what? Kg, which this can also be written as in terms of MLT, meaning that what? We are going to have mass, length and what? Time. So the mass we have here is what? M. And being the denominator, we are going to have minus what? How many are the denominator? 1. Then after the mass, followed by what? Length. Length is measured in meter. So we have what? L. And the L is what? The length. What is the power of it? 3. Is not the denominator, it's just what? A numerator. Then after that we have what? Time. And that time, which is what? T, is what? A denominator. What is the value of what? The time? Being the denominator, we are going to have what? Minus. So how many do we have it at the denominator? It is what? 2. So which means if I equate this thing to what we have here, you can see that what? The mass we have here is what? Representing our x. And our s is what? Having minus 1. Then the length is representing our length, which has the power of y. Our y here is what? We have 3. And the time, which is what? Our time having the power of what? Z. And that z is what? Power of what? Minus 2. This is what? Minus what? 2. So therefore, having answered this question, they said find the values of what? X, y, and z respectively. It means we are going to write the value of what? X, value of what? Y, value of what? Z in accordance. In accordance means what? We are going to first of all present the value of what? X. After that, present the value of y before the what? The value of what? Z. So the value of what? Our x, which is the one of what? The mass, is what? Minus 1. So which means we are going to look for what? Look at it, the minus 1. Then after that, the L, which is our y, having the power of what? Y, is having what? 3. Having the 3. So we are going to have, okay, look at this is what? Minus 1. This is 3. Then after that one, our z, which is what? The one of what? The time, is having what? The power of what? Minus 2. So therefore, you can see that the powers are going to be what? Minus 1, 3, and what? 2. So which means the answer is what? Our B. So therefore, to answer this problem, you can tell them your x, y, and what? Z respectively means what? Minus 1, we have 3, and what? Minus what? 2. And the correct answer is what? Option of what? B. Thank you for watching this wonderful JAMB problem I've solved. In this case, I will assure you that what we are going to answer a lot of what? Problems in what? Dimension. Then, thank you, and please, if you have not subscribed to what? Our channel, please do so. Kossydgreat loves you. Thank you, and God bless you.